Because one of the most impact that as a state that is faced in the second brutal COVID surge has been the state of Uttar Pradesh. The rural belt pretty much got to its knees. What we did, we spent a day with the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh to understand how he is dealing with the current COVID crisis.
UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's day has started, and he's doing the first big meeting of his day. He's tracking COVID-19 information that has come in from every district of his state. After the meeting, it is time to hit the road. The plan today is to travel to 3 districts of Uttar Pradesh.
ये मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ के आज के दिन की शुरुआत है जब वो गोंडा, वाराणसी और आजमगढ़ के दौरे पर हैं। तो चलते हैं मुख्यमंत्री के साथ। हम इस वक्त गोंडा उतरे हैं और गोंडा में मुख्यमंत्री पहले कोविड वार्ड देखेंगे, कंट्रोल एंड कमांड सेंटर जाएंगे, उसके बाद समीक्षा बैठक होगी और फिर गांव की तरफ प्रस्थान होगा।
पूरे अभियान को स्वच्छता, सैनिटाइजेशन से लेकर के सभी प्रकार की गतिविधियों को एक जगह से हम नियंत्रित कर सकते हैं। इसलिए हर जनपद में हम लोगों ने फर्स्ट वेव में ही इंटीग्रेटेड कोविड कंट्रोल सेंटर बना दिए थे। ये चीजें दिखती है कि फील्ड में जो काम हो रहा है और इस प्रकार के ICCC के माध्यम से जो उनकी मॉनिटरिंग हो रही है, जो मैन पावर हमारा वहां पर है वो काम कर रहा है, उसके ये परिणाम सामने आए।
Then it was time to meet the officials and take stock of the situation.
हर जिले में मुख्यमंत्री ऐसी ही समीक्षा बैठक करते हैं। गोंडा में इस वक्त ये समीक्षा बैठक का दृश्य है और आप इसमें देखें तो इसमें जिले के तमाम अधिकारी, कमिश्नरी के तमाम बड़े अधिकारी, जनप्रतिनिधि, विधायक, साथ साथ यहाँ के प्रभारी मंत्री भी इसमें मौजूद होते हैं। वो एक गांव तय करते हैं और वो इसी मीटिंग में तय होता है कि किस गांव में उन्हें जाना है, यानी कि ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्स टाइम नहीं देते।
निगरानी समिति क्या काम करती है?
The Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is on his way to Azamgarh now. The India Today team is traveling with him in his helicopter, and he talks about how the situation is fast changing in UP.
जो हमारे पास एक्टिव केस प्रदेश में 30 अप्रैल को 3,10,000 थे, आज वो 76,000 तक 76,000 तक मात्र रह गए हैं। जहां पर पॉजिटिव केस प्रतिदिन 38,000 से ज्यादा आ रहे थे, आज उस प्रदेश में आज केवल 3,900 पॉजिटिव केस आए हैं। ये चीजें इस बात को दिखाती हैं कि जो हमारी रणनीति थी, जो कोविड प्रबंधन था, वो सफल है।
It was a roughly 40-minute helicopter ride from Gonda to Azamgarh, and after landing, he went straight to Bijor village, which has been designated a COVID hotspot.
माननीय योगी आदित्यनाथ जी आए थे अभी और उन्होंने हालचाल हमारा पूछा और हम लोग अभी सभी लोग स्वस्थ हैं और वी आर ऑल फाइन।
Then at the village center, the Chief Minister spoke to village representatives and the women.
निगरानी समिति के साथ काम कर रहे हैं? जी सर, जी सर। बहुत सुंदर। निगरानी समिति में कौन यहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं इस समय? 7 लोग हैं। सभी लोग नियमित रूप से कार्य करते हैं।
It was time now to visit the medical college in Azamgarh. He made a survey of the ICU and the NICU facilities here. He held an official meeting at the hospital's administrative block. And with that, it was onwards to his next and final stop, Varanasi.
वाराणसी मुख्यमंत्री यहां पहुंचे हैं और वाराणसी में क्या है कोरोना का हाल, मुख्यमंत्री यहां पर भी कोरोना का जायजा लेंगे।
नमस्ते नमस्ते, आप कैसे हैं? ठीक है ना? एकदम हिम्मत से काम लीजिए, आप बहुत शीघ्र स्वस्थ हो जाएंगे।
India today followed the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh to the Sundarlal Ayurvedic Hospital in the city. It was now evening in Varanasi. The Chief Minister took a late evening meeting with government officials of the district. With these meetings and on-site visits, the day was coming to an end. But after the meetings, there were still a few important items left on the itinerary. First, the Kal Bhairav Mandir, and then Vishwanath Darshan. Before calling it a day, a final inspection of the progress of the Kashi corridor and distribution of foodstuff. And the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh retired for the night at the Circuit House in Varanasi.
पूरे दिन भर हम आज उनके साथ रहे, अलग अलग जगहों पर योगी आदित्यनाथ को देखा किस तरीके से कोरोना के जंग में वो जमीन पर दिखाई दे रहे हैं।
All right, viewers, we're going to slip into the latest news break that is just filtering in right now. News coming in which suggests that the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technologies letter to all significant social media intermediaries asks details of what action have been taken as per the new norms. That's the latest that is coming in. We're going to continue to get our viewers more information filtering in on this news break. All right, all of this coming at the back of certain social media giants which were put on notice by the government. The latest, viewers, is the platform of WhatsApp, which has now filed an official complaint saying they would not comply with what the government wishes them to do so. The government says we are not looking at invading privacy. This is only for certain emergency use. Listen in.
Social media giants are fighting it out with the Modi government over the new IT norms. The fight has now reached the courts as WhatsApp filed a lawsuit against the government in the Delhi High Court.
The social media giants have raised objections to the clauses that make them criminally liable for any misinformation or any other kind of information that is exchanged on their platform, which they say cannot be done because they are merely intermediaries. The new intermediary rules have been a subject of debate for several months, but now once again it is now for the court to decide on what happens next.
WhatsApp has sued the central government, saying it is impossible to implement the new guidelines without breaching the privacy of the users.
Identify the first originator of rogue posts is what the government of India is saying. The argument that WhatsApp gives here is that it's going to be a violation of privacy rights if we make an attempt to do so. Apart from that, unmasked people credibly accused of wrongdoing is what the government of India is saying. So you must, in fact, tell us who are these people. WhatsApp says can't do it as it would break encryption. Remember, the WhatsApp messages are encrypted, and this is what WhatsApp is saying, that to do this, we have to break that encryption, and that's going to be violative of privacy laws, essentially, is what the argument of WhatsApp is.
Experts are also on the fence on these guidelines, with some of them backing social media companies' stand that these guidelines simply cannot be implemented.
The bigger issue is that there is no judicial scrutiny, as the judicial scrutiny can easily be bypassed by an order issued under Section 69 of the Information Technology Act.
These companies, however, find themselves in a spot of bother now, with the deadline ending for them to comply with the new norms. They will now be liable in legal complaints and lose all legal immunity as intermediaries.
This is unfortunately a continuation of these platforms trying to duck their responsibility, and it is time that these platforms became more accountable to the consumers that they serve.
With the face of escalating, questions loom on whether the likes of WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram and others will be allowed in India or not. The government has so far ruled it out, but with no compliance, will there be a rethink on a ban? We'll have to wait and watch. Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, India Today reporters continue to track the path of Cyclone Yaas. It has made landfall. The epicenter, the eye of the storm, is Odisha. It has moved on to West Bengal as well and will be moving onwards to Jharkhand tomorrow.
High-speed winds, collapsed roofs, uprooted trees, gushing waters. These images reveal the extent of damage that Cyclone Yaas has caused in Bengal and Odisha. The super cyclone made landfall at Balasore and Dhamra around 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Winds lashing at 140 kilometers per hour were weaker than expected, but strong enough to inflict damage as it swept inland.
Trees are nearly destroyed because of the strong winds. Few of those people, if you can see the trees up there, you will know the impact, but some of them still venturing out. These are people who are very concerned about their shops, about their livelihood. But the warning had been given some time back, and let's see the waves coming almost till where we are, which is almost climbing 10 feet high.
In Odisha's Paradeep, these damaged jetties tell the tale of what unfolded. As Yaas blew in ferociously, the National Disaster Relief Force rushed into relief efforts. They rescued a 6-month-old infant and an injured woman in Balasore.
अरे ये इतना दूर तक कभी नहीं पानी आता है, जितना भी तूफान गया है।
आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से वहाँ पे जो सिचुएशन है, आपको यहाँ पे लपटें दिखाएं तो 10 फीट से ऊपर लपटें आ रही हैं। देखिए यहाँ पर, और जो आसपास दुकानें हैं यहाँ पर, ये देखिए दुकानों तक पानी आ रहा है जो कि कई फीट ऊपर है। यहाँ पर बचाने की कोशिश की जा रही है।
The army too joined in the relief effort. In Kolkata, strong winds coupled with high tides tested the city's infrastructure.
The winds are extremely high, and right now the sea has moved a bit back, but these are coastal areas, and the impact, as we were rightly mentioning, the impact has already started, as we showed you just a while back how roads have started to break down due to the heavy winds and the tidal waves.
These were the scenes at the Haldia port in East Midnapur. The Coast Guard conducted recce's looking for those who might need assistance.
প্রাকৃতিক দুর্যোগ এটা কেন্দ্র জাস্ট ফোন করে খবরাখবর নেয় দিস মাস, কিন্তু মনে রাখবেন কেন্দ্রীয় এজেন্সি, রাজ্য এজেন্সি সবাই মিলে আমরা একসাথেই কাজটা করেছি, একসাথেই কাজটা করব, এবং এটা রাজ্যেরই কাজ। এবং খোঁজ নিলে খোঁজ তো একটা ফোন করে নিতে কতক্ষণ লাগে, 1 সেকেন্ড লাগে। সুতরাং এটা কোনো ম্যাটার বলে আমি মনে করি না, ইট হার্ডলি ম্যাটার্স। সুতরাং আমাদের দুর্যোগটাকে থেকে বাঁচতে দিন।
The real extent of the damage wrought by the cyclone will be known in the coming hours as winds move further inward.
We are thoroughly prepared, we are thorough professionals, we have a team of uniformed people from the state fire services, police services, forest services, then we have our own draft team, the energy team itself, we have trained our people to do road clearance and all, and we have all mechanized equipment through which we will be restoring power very soon.
The impact of Cyclone Yaas being felt day after the landfall. Now there are strong gusty winds. The impact has been such, look at these, several trees have fallen on the roads, electricity poles being destroyed. This is going to mean a lot of work, but Odisha comes out here and this devastation has to be taken care of because remember the state cannot go without electricity. This area being impacted, the VIP is being moved here, but clearly an inspection going on what kind of damage is done at this point of time so that it can be taken care of. With camera person Jamal, this is Uttar in Balasore for India Today.
All right, viewers. Now, this is for all the budding astronomers or those interested in astronomy, even astrology, because there's a fallback of that as well. What the world will witness is today a massive celestial event. The moon would be closest to the earth, making it appear red, called a blood moon.
A super celestial event in the sky amid the severe cyclonic storm Yaas's fury. The first lunar eclipse of 2021, and it's special for more reasons than one. The moon completely covered in Earth's shadow. The phenomenon, a total lunar eclipse, is the lone one this year. The moon, when closest to the Earth, leads to this phenomenon called a supermoon, appearing particularly large in the sky. Since the two celestial events collide, it's the super blood moon. The moon, despite being covered in Earth's shadow, doesn't go completely dark, but takes a reddish tone instead. The Indian Met Department has warned that Cyclone Yaas's post-landfall impact might actually worsen due to spring tides resulting from the full moon and lunar eclipse.
जो तूफान बवंडर जो खड़ा हुआ है और ये भयानक तरीके से हमारे अलग-अलग हिस्सों को, तटीय हिस्सों को, उड़ीसा से, बंगाल से और बाकी तट के इलाकों पे जो टकराने जा रहा है, तो वो धरती के वातावरण की घटना है. इसका कोई खगोलीय घटना से लेना देना नहीं.
Not everyone will be able to catch a glimpse of this rare celestial event. People in the national capital won't be able to see it as the moon will be below the horizon. The lunar eclipse is visible for a short span of time from the northeastern parts of India, including West Bengal, Odisha, and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, where Cyclone Yaas has an impact. The super blood moon has its own spiritual significance as well.
So, the reason why so many things are taken care of on a full lunar eclipse day is because you're passing 28 days in 2 hours' time, approximately 2 hours' time. Anything that moves away from its natural condition will naturally deteriorate very, very fast on this day.
Will the rare lunar event lead to increased cyclone impact in India's eastern coast? A country will be watching. Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back, viewers. Time for our Fact Check segment where we bust certain myths masquerading to be facts in social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Fake news, basically. We bust fake news here. Now, you might have seen this on many WhatsApp groups. You might have seen it on social media platforms as well, where it seemed to suggest that Nobel laureate Luc Montagnier claimed that all vaccinated people will die in 2 years. Wrong. We fact-checked that. He said nothing like this. Though, yes, Luke has expressed his hesitation where vaccination is concerned. but he has never made this comment. With that quick fact check, it's time for us to slip into a quick break. Do stay with us. News and updates continue on the other side.